dreamed of love. You gave me words. I built a home. You built excuses, and I, like a fool, believed them. I held my heart like silk in my hands, careful not to tear a thread. You wrapped it up in pretty words, then left me bleeding in your bed. You told me love was complicated, told me I was asking too much. So I learned to swallow every feeling, just to keep from losing your touch. I stayed when you were breaking, I stayed when you were cold. I carried all your problems like they were mine to hold. And every time I needed you, you made me feel ashamed. So I learned to hide the bleeding and smiled when you called my name. Another mask, another lie, another piece I leave behind. I bend, I break, I disappear. Just tell me I was worth keeping here. I gave you my heart, you treated it like paper. I gave you my dreams, you buried them for later. I held you together while I was falling apart. You called me the problem while you were tearing out my heart. And now you say I never wanted you. After everything I tried to do, the show must go on. So smile, little fool, smile through the scars. I endured the way you talked about me, like I was something you could blame. I heard the whispers from the others while you stood there without a name. I swallowed every accusation. Whenever I tried to speak, I'd open up my heart to you. You turned my weakness into guilt, so I stopped telling you I'm hurting. I stopped telling you I cry, because every time I showed my heart, you used it as a knife. I became your safe place, your shelter from the storm. But when I needed somewhere safe, I was suddenly too much. Another mask, another smile. Pretend you're fine, just stay a while. I bend, I break, I disappear. Maybe if I'm useful, you'll keep me here. I gave you my heart, you treated it like paper. I gave you my dreams, you buried them for later. I held you together while I was falling apart. You called me the problem while you were tearing out my heart. And now you say I never wanted you. After everything I tried to do, the show must go on. So smile, little fool, smile through the scars. Was I only worth the saving? Was I only worth the fixing? Was I only worth your reaching when your world was falling down? You needed me when you were drowning. You needed me when you were lost. But when I became the broken one, you counted up the cost. I was good enough to carry you, good enough to take the blame, good enough to solve your problems, but never good enough to be loved the same. And that's the cruelest part. I would have stayed forever while you were slowly teaching me that I was only an option. No more masks, no more lies, no more bending just to survive. I bend, I break, but now I your little fool, still wearing bells, still playing by your rules. You said I didn't show you that I wanted this to last, but how could you not see it? I was fighting while you watched. I stayed through every accusation, I stayed through every word, I stayed while people tore me apart. And you never said a word. I gave you every version of myself that I thought you might love. And when there was nothing left, you called me not enough. I gave you my heart, my fragile heart of silk. You stained it with your lies, then blamed me when it ripped. I held you together until I couldn't hold myself. You needed me when you needed saving, then threw me on the shelf. And now you say I was the one who walked away. After every night I begged you to stay. No, the show must go on, but I won't play your fool again. No more masks, no more scars, no more breaking just to be enough. So take your empty promises, take every word you said, take every I love you you never really meant. Keep every little lie you buried underneath your smile. I'll leave the masks behind me, I've worn them long enough. You wanted someone useful, someone who would always stay, someone who would fix your world while slowly fading away. But I'm not your cure, I'm not your shelter, I'm not your second choice, and I won't spend another lifetime trying to earn your love. My heart was made of silk. You pulled every thread until nothing remained. I was never just an option. I was a fool who thought